republic for which it stands.
One nation, under God.
Indivisible.
With liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, concealed carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the War Room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Echols.
And we are back. Once again, we are tucked away in the war room somewhere in the high desert of southern Idaho. And joining me tonight is Bathroom Paul.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Afternoon, whatever it
Good,
is.
whatever. You know, we logged on to YouTube here. We fired up YouTube Live. Oh, I was going to say, we were up to 2. Then they checked and they saw what notification it was. And they said, I don't think so. And they bailed on us. And now they're back.
They're back. They came back.
They came back. That means we got to do a good show.
You got it.
Put your all into this, Bathroom Paul.
I will put my all into it.
Okay. What have you been up to, sir?
Work, really.
You haven't bought nothing?
I got some ammo today.
That's right. What'd you get?
I was able to get 100 rounds of 9mm and 120 rounds of 5.56.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't buy that rifle stuff.
I do. It's fun for shooting coyotes.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Love my AR for shooting coyotes.
I don't shoot my AR. We've already gone. I don't shoot the AR.
I shoot mine all the
I
time.
almost pulled the trigger on some ammo. I found some good priced ammo, and I had it all in my. I had it all in my shopping cart. I was like, oh, that's right. I ordered new advertising this month. I can't do it. Got to pay for that instead.
I'm going to have to check out that site for the price you were telling me. I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah, my problem is when I buy it, I want to buy it in 1,000-round increments. So when I go to buy it, it's like, $600-700.
Yeah.
And anyhow, but I've been selling some of the ammo I have for people in my class, and so it's like, people to use in my class, and now it's like, I'm probably down 500 or 600 rounds. It's probably time to.
I've seen your ammo stash. 500 or 600 rounds ain't hurting you.
But if it keeps going like this, it'll start to hurt.
That's true. Because if I take that class, I might just buy my ammo from you.
No, you can't. That's way too much. You aren't allowed to do that. So that's for like 50 rounds.
Oh, it's for your permit classes.
My permit classes, or something like that. So
it was worth a try.
I'm not a rich man, Paul.
Well, but I'm paying you for it.
Yeah, but I can't replace it. So I know how much you can get it for online. So I'm going to sell it to you for 70 cents a round.
That's about where you're getting it anyways.
Damn near. Damn near.
Gosh.
So that's all. You just bought some ammo? That's it?
Bought some ammo. I did shoot a couple rock chucks this week while I was out in Paul working on our project.
It's more than I shot this year. What are you shooting them with out there?
I shot them with a 17 HMR.
Oh, okay. So you're allowed to carry that with you?
Well, it's a gray area. It's a gray area.
This is a podcast, right? Other people listen to this?
Yeah, I do. That's why I say it's a gray area.
Okay.
The company they don't really care.
Does anyone at your company listen to this podcast?
Actually, they do.
Do they?
They do.
Do they say anything when they hear you on here?
Yeah, I've gotten a little bit of ration of shit, I guess.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. It is what it is. So
because they didn't know the name Bathroom Paul.
Now everybody knows.
Now everybody does.
Everyone that comes on this podcast has a nickname.
Yes.
Except for me.
We'll come up with one.
Great. That's great. So I do want to throw out here before we get started. I'm usually coming to the podcast pretty well prepared, and I'm usually prepared. I got everything. I got everything lined out, and I'm good to go. And tonight, I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants.
We're gonna wing it.
I always wing it.
And we can use the old notes there.
We want to just redo last week's podcast, maybe. Since I hit record.
Yeah, make it easier.
So I was able to, if people are listening, I was able to actually salvage that podcast. So I was pretty impressed with that. I didn't get any sleep that night trying to figure out how I was going to do it, but I figured it out.
Hey, at least it's done, though.
It is.
It's done.
It is done. So, okay, I think that's it. I'll see you guys next. Never mind. We got a little more than that.
Yeah, the commercial. I'm excited about the commercial.
We will. So I've been on the search for a
running gun.
A running gun, okay? I've been on the search for a running gun. I want something small, and I want something smaller than even the SIG P365. I like that gun, but I want something smaller.
Yeah.
And we didn't pull up a website to actually compare the two, but it's not the top of the line manufacturer, right?
But for a running gun,
But for a running gun, I'm really now looking at, was it called the Taurus GX4?
GX4.
The Taurus GX4 has arrived. Now, I've yet to get my hands on that, but I'm considering it.
They're calling it the micro compact.
They're calling it a micro compact. It'll hold up to 11 rounds.
And you can get a 13 round extended
13
mag.
round extended mag. It's supposed to be pretty small. It's supposed to have an improved trigger. And we were kind of shuffling around online, and we came up with a pretty cool commercial.
It's a really cool commercial.
So I guess we're going to play this, and I've got it set up so we can pause it and chat about it, and
Perfect.
criticize a gun that we've never held, touched, or even fired.
Yeah. I saw pictures of it.
That's what we do here. We're very opinionated. So here we go.
I'm no hero. Far from it. I'm just an ordinary guy trying to live my best life. But I know what it means to defend myself, and the price you can ultimately pay if you're not prepared to do so.
It is a good commercial.
There's a responsibility we all have to look out for ourselves, our loved ones, even perfect strangers. This is a responsibility I don't take lightly. No, I don't carry it because I'm a hero. I carry it because I care enough to protect the ones I love. I carry it because there are real dangers present in this world. And I cannot predict when or if they will ever come for me. What I can control is my own ability to prepare and protect.
So I've never encouraged anyone to run out and buy a Taurus in my life, and I'm still not going to, but I hear this commercial, and I'm like, damn, I need a freaking Taurus.
Same thing.
So what this is if you go on to Facebook or YouTube, and I'm sure if you type in Taurus GX4, you can actually watch this commercial, and there's more to it than this, and we're going to play the rest of it. This is just kind of like the intro. It's a badass intro.
It is.
In fact, they did it right. You don't even know that they're talking about a Taurus.
No.
Until like the very end of it, and it's like you get all hyped up, and you're like, damn, I don't know. I'm just an ordinary soccer dad, right? I mean,
Yep.
I don't know when danger, I don't know when evil's going to pop its head around the corner and it's going to come for me. Freaking hell, I think I need a Taurus.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
it's got me excited.
It's a freaking fantastic little intro.
It's got me excited.
But maybe I'm just easy.
Well, that too, but it's a good commercial.
It is a damn good commercial. So let's keep listening here.
That's why I choose to conceal carry every day. That's why I choose the Taurus GX4.
That's why I choose my HK VP9.
Can it?
A Turkish gun. Ooh, here we come again.
This is where it gets exciting.
With the introduction of our first ever micro-compact 9mm, the all-new Taurus GX4 boldly outclasses anything else in its class.
I will say we are not getting a kickback or anything from Taurus. So if someone from Taurus is watching this, I'll make sure I tag them in the comments. Maybe they'll see it, right? Maybe I better not.
No, because we've talked bad about that other Taurus I had. So.
Yeah, we have. But we are not getting any type of kickback, no type of support. No, they're not sponsoring us or anything like that. But I'm apprehensive, but now I'm intrigued.
Well, we'll have to go to the gun counter.
Because I've shot your Taurus, and it's shit.
Yeah. You shot it way better than I did, though, too.
Yeah, so here we go.
Reaching unprecedented new heights in concealed carry, firearm engineering, ergonomics, and innovation.
So there's that phrase. I think that's a selling phrase. Unprecedented new heights in ergonomics and what they say?
I don't know.
Concealed carry, something
nonsense.
or other. Have we reached the pinnacle here? have we not with this gun, but overall, they've reached the pinnacle. Like everyone says this. I know it's just a selling tactic, but I mean, what more can you do to handguns? What more can you do? It's really interesting because we went from small, which, small guns, and we've talked about it before, small to big, back to small. Now we're going with like compact, small double stacks, not single stacks. Yeah. And then I thought we were and then they all were kind of the same. And then I thought we were kind of breaking the norm and seeing a little more achievement in this when we went to the Smith & Wesson EZs, because they didn't kick like a freaking mule. Yeah. They were comfortable. A lot of people can handle them. And now we're back with this, like a micro, like a micro compact, as they call a micro 9. So, and I haven't, like I said, again, I haven't compared the sizes. Maybe someone, I know old James is on here. Hey, Pete, I know James is on here. Maybe James can look it up because I'm not that talented. I can't do 48 things at once. I to count to 5, I got to take my shoes off. But I mean, how does that compare to like the 365? Not the XL, the little 365. Yeah. If someone could look up the size comparisons for me and the weight, because they're calling this a micro, and I haven't seen one in person. When I think of micro, I think of freaking small. I'm thinking like DB9 single stack small. Well,
but the video, when you watch the video of this commercial, the gun fits in the palm of the guy's hand. Yeah, it was pretty small.
But the pre 365 is pretty small too.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe the guy had big hands.
Maybe.
Yeah, so maybe to him it was I don't freaking know.
I think it's going to be another one of those that's geared towards women. I think that's what they're going to push it towards.
So I can't buy one?
You can buy whatever you want.
They're going to talk about it. I'm kind of getting slightly curious because they came out with the G3. Mm-hmm. They came out with the PT-111 Millennium, whatever bullcrap that was. Yeah. Then they came out with the G2. Then the G2C. Yep. And then they came out with the G3, which is a full size, supposedly had a better trigger, which I think it does a little bit.
It was a little bit better, I thought.
And now this new trigger is supposed to be a lot better. So I want to know what their a lot better is. I'm very, very, very curious.
Maybe we need to spend the $400 and buy one just to test it out.
I'll go halvesies with you.
All right.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Make an appointment to use it whenever you want.
All right. Sounds good. Okay.
When you get into a micro compact pistol and you're starting to dive into very fine design details, there's a few things that we really wanted to do extremely well to make sure our gun stood out among its competitors. For us, that is the ergonomics of the pistol, the trigger design, and then also the surface treatments on the slide and barrel we feel are superior to what else is out in the market.
As someone who conceal carries every day, having a pistol that one is micro pistol size, it's easy to conceal, feels comfortable to shoot in the hand, and has smooth edges so it's comfortable to carry is extremely important. I want to be able to carry.
I thought they came out with that when they came out with the Taurus Curve.
Yeah.
Huh? That was supposed to be the pinnacle.
That was supposed to be, yes. But this is a whole new platform, so this is the pinnacle of the new platform.
Of the micro compact.
Yes, because they said it's all new components. They didn't take components from any of their other firearms.
They didn't take shit and put it in.
That's what they're saying.
Oh, we'll find out.
That's what they're saying.
Here's the hoping.
Carry this firearm every day, and if it's not comfortable on any of those levels, then I'm not going to use it. So the GX4 checks all those boxes.
Says the lady who is on the sponsored shooting team.
And I think people are really going to be excited and really appreciate all of the design and thought that has gone into this pistol.
The GX4 has been in development for 3 years. When you do a brand new platform like this, you have to go through all the new product development phase. You have concept, multiple prototypes, you have the design validation, production validation. It takes a very long time, a lot of testing to validate, to ensure you have a quality products on the market.
We took into account what our consumers were telling us they wanted. We listened to some focus groups and got feedback from some expert end users. And ultimately, we designed the pistol that we think is the ultimate micro compact and fits exactly what our market is asking for.
The Taurus engineers here in U.S. worked very closely.
Is the market asking for a micro compact? I mean, I know that's what I'm kind of looking for just for running, but are they asking for a micro compact?
Most people I know are moving back to full size,
closer to full size,
yeah.
I mean, even SIG came out with the 365, and then they came out with the 365 XL. So I mean, what is everyone looking for the micro compact, or is this like they're like they should have brought this out like 4 years ago?
I think they should have brought it out 4 years ago. But
are they 4 years behind?
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, trends ebb and flow. So
are they trying to jump into the 8 million new gun owners that bought firearms last year? Is that what they're trying to do?
That's a good possibility. I didn't think about that. But yeah, if you're marketing it to new people that don't know any better.
So my thoughts are be careful, because we don't know how. I mean, I've seen the video, right? I've never shot one yet. I'm feeling kind of bi-curious. No, I'm feeling really curious about this gun. I want to know how bad is this thing going to recoil? So here's it, James. It's slightly longer and wider than the 365. It is shorter in height so it's longer and wider.
So it's bigger than the 365.
So it's a little bit bigger than the 365. So is the 365, I mean, what constitutes it being a micro compact? Does that mean that the P365 would be a micro compact? They didn't market it as a micro compact. Why is that?
Maybe they know something that Taurus doesn't, and nobody wants a micro compact.
Yeah, I mean, I want to get one, and I want to compare it to the SIG P365, which I do not have either, right? I mean, if you're just going to go off name, here's where if I'm just going to go off name, I would go with the SIG P365.
I would too, in a heartbeat.
But how does this trigger feel? So the 365X, so the 365 has a curved trigger. When they jumped up to the 365 XL, they have the flat trigger. I'm a huge fan of the flat trigger. And as you will find out later on in this, when we continue to play it, this has a flat trigger on it. What's that going to be like? And I'll say the SIG's trigger is okay. The 365 XL is an improved trigger, and it's okay, but it's not perfect. So how does this hold up? I guess for me, to be honest with you, is if it has the same kind of recoil as a 365, that's cool. If it has as good of a trigger or a better trigger than the 365 in my mind, I'll probably go with the Taurus. But if it's the same, for a few $100s more, I probably would just go with the SIG just because of the name and maybe more quality. I mean, is that...
I would too. But I mean, if they've got a flat face trigger in there, anything's got to be an improvement over the triggers they had before.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Anything's got to be an improvement over an old Taurus trigger.
Oh, the old Taurus triggers were weird. They had some weird hiccup in the middle, and a lot of times it was a hang up because there was that little trigger safety. And I figured out what it was. That trigger safety, people will get their finger on it, you completely depress it, but it's like when they're new, there's like a hang up. So you take up slack, hiccup, wall. It'd be take up slack, hiccup, take up a little more slack, and then the wall. And people, what would they do is they get to a little hiccup with that trigger safety, and then they think that was the wall. And they start to apply a little more pressure, and it'd break free and slam against that wall, and the gun would fire. And then they would jerk the crap out of that thing.
Maybe that's what my problem is.
I think yours, you shot yours enough. It's kind of boring.
It wasn't there. Yeah.
And yours is the old one too.
Yeah, it was the PT-111.
Yeah, it was the original.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let's keep listening to what they have to say about this thing. I don't know. We're not getting a sponsorship. You know that, right? that went out the window.
Yeah.
With our Brazil engineers as well, and they put together such an incredible product in the GX4. One of their main focuses was on the ergonomics of the pistol and how it feels in the hand. And they also realized that not everyone has the same hand size, so what might feel great in my hand wouldn't be the same for the next person. So to accommodate for that, the GX4 comes with 2 interchangeable back straps to offer a grip size for any person out there and to make it comfortable in your hand while shooting.
On the GX4 platform, I really challenged the engineers to have a gun that had, while it was a micro compact, still had very good ergonomics. I also wanted to have an excellent trigger on that gun. And for us to achieve that, we had to create a brand new platform. We did not want to compromise by trying to use a parts or a section of a guns from another platform. We created a new platform from the ground up.
Which, to be honest with you, that's actually encouraging.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you're not just adjusting the size a little bit, and it's going to be like a G2C compact that's now they went to a G3, that now it's going to be like a G3 micro compact. That's actually, I like that, right? Because maybe you aren't going to have that little freaking hiccup in the trigger, right?
Maybe they realized they needed some upgrades, some improvements.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I'm curious. I need to go find one now.
Yeah.
I really want to get my hands on one now.
D&B had some guns in there. You might have to
They
go down and see.
probably have a freaking pile of them.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We took the GX4 and we really simplified a lot of the features, specifically in the trigger and the chassis system that sits inside the polymer frame. There's about a 25% reduction in parts from the G3C to the GX4.
We wanted this gun to have a great trigger because while it's a tool for protection, we also know that people are going to want to use this gun at the range. We're going to want them to be accurate with this gun. So we did a lot of work on that trigger. It has a very short take-up. It has a crisp break. It has a short and tactile reset that gives you feedback. It has serration on the trigger blade, which gives you a very positive contact point for your finger.
From a shooter's perspective, the trigger in the GX4 is unlike any I've seen in any micro pistol out there. From a concealed carry standpoint, I look for a trigger that has a short take-up and a crisp, clean break with a positive reset, and that is something that you're going to get in the GX4.
The trigger on the GX4 enables the user to shoot accurately on the first round and subsequent rounds. It's much like what you would see in a duty pistol. You have a very clean and crisp trigger break right at 6 pounds, short take-up. You also have a very short and distinct reset, so your fast follow-up shots are going to be there. It has a flat trigger face that fits your finger really well, and it allows the user to shoot very accurately.
I'm super excited about that flat trigger face.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, they use big fancy words, crisp, clean. It's a crisp, clean 6 pounds.
It's the key words.
Yeah, I mean, usually the smaller the gun, the worse the trigger is. So I'm kind of like interested in this, but
Yeah.
I want to see, right?
But it might be exactly what you're looking for. I mean, really.
for running, I don't care. I mean, I want a good trigger. It doesn't. It might be.
It might be just what you're looking for, the right price range, and if it has a halfway decent trigger, I mean.
But the P360, I don't know. I can't decide.
So we know that Taurus GX4 is going to be used as an everyday carry pistol. So we put a lot of emphasis on making sure that we're going to have very good corrosion protection. The Taurus GX4 slide has a gas nitriding treatment. The barrel is a stainless steel barrel that has a DLC coating. And all the control parts have a black Teflon coating.
So one of the things that many people first look at when you're looking at a micro pistol is the round capacity. And unfortunately, when you choose a smaller frame firearm to carry, you're going to be losing round capacity. But the GX4, you don't have to worry about that. It comes with 2 11-round mags, or there's an option for a 13-round extended mag. And to me, that is extremely important because I want as many rounds as possible, but I still want it to be small and concealable. And with the GX4, you have that.
The GX4 is everything that we set out to achieve when we first started designing this pistol. And to be able to put all these features onto the market at an unbeatable value, less than $400, it's just something that we can be really proud about.
The Taurus GX4 is designed to deliver maximum concealment without sacrificing ergonomics, performance, or capacity, offering everything you would expect from a full-frame defensive handgun at a fraction of the size and weight. Experience the all-new Taurus GX4 for yourself. Prepare and protect.
Prepare and protect with your Taurus. So
it is a good commercial.
It is a great commercial,
It's a good
especially
commercial.
the first minute and a half. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so they say it's $400. So I'm sure would imagine that's MSRP. So that won't be what it is. It's probably going to be $340.
I was going to say 350, but yeah,
340 to
I would think
360.
so.
Let's say that.
Yeah.
For running, it might fit the bill.
It might.
Right? Because if it comes in at that price, and that's Taurus price typically.
Yep.
And I think the P365s they're like, The XL's like $600.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like $500 to $600
for a running gun. You know, $400. You can't go wrong.
I wonder if I could slap a red dot on that sucker.
I don't remember seeing that it had the plates in it.
Damn it! It's not. Yeah, it's not cut. I know it's not. I'm just like,
you never know.
How badass would that be? A little micro red dot.
Yeah.
Hey James, can we put a red dot on that Taurus GX4? I'll let him stew on that. He'll mill that over for a minute.
He'll get his Dremel out and take care of it for you. No problem.
Yeah. So what drives someone to? And I mean, I'm just kind of throwing this out there. I carry a full-size gun. Carry what you carry, right? I mean, carry what you're going to carry. But I have never understood, actually, unless it's a specialty situation like me running and need the small gun, right? For everyday carry, I want a bigger gun. That's just me. I have not figured out I can't figure out what drives carrying a small gun. Now you're going to say, well, people want easy carry. They don't want to fill it. I don't understand that, because if you carry a gun, like I tell everyone, it should be comforting, not comfortable.
Yep.
You should know that it's there. And you don't want a gun that's going to get lost. I mean, you look at some of those, like the little Ruger LCPs, right? How the freaking hell do you even holster that thing?
You know,
you don't. We're talking pocket holster. That's a bunch of bull crap. How are you going to actually carry that?
So when I first started carrying, that's what I was going with. I was going with like a subcompact and stuff like that.
Well, see, you can do a subcompact.
Yes.
But can you appendix carry an LCP?
No.
Okay, go on.
But now I've moved on to carrying a full size is what I prefer now, and for, like you said, for reholstering and just it feels better. I shoot it better, and I feel more comfortable using a full size than a subcompact or a compact.
Can you imagine trying to? And I'm not knocking anyone. I mean, honestly, somebody answer me, right? I don't carry an LCP. Those little Ruger LCPs, some of them are, I mean, we're not talking the big, I'm talking like the original ones, like the little, they had the small ones. Some of those really small guns, or those little Taurus has those little tiny, thin, like 380s. Mm-hmm. How do you carry that? And if you're going to draw that gun, how do you draw it? How do you get a defensive grip on that pistol?
You can't.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't. I mean, it's impossible.
Yep. You're just spray and pray.
If you don't have a good grip on it, you're going to squeeze that trigger once, thing's going to hop out of your hand.
Well, then you get your cardio into chasing it. So.
Yeah, there you go. So, and speaking of drawing a firearm, how many people, and I know some people have, but how many people have actually practiced drawing a firearm?
Not enough.
So many people, like, not even my permit class. I guarantee you there's other permit classes out there that they leave and they may go and shoot some more, and I think that's absolutely fantastic. But how many people actually think, right, that I'm going to carry this gun? I probably need to know how to get it out of my holster. Mm-hmm. Do they question that, or do they go, well, I can freaking get it out of my holster? How hard is that? How hard is getting it out of my holster? That's not difficult.
And I think that's most people's mindset. All I got to do is pull up my shirt and grab the gun.
Yeah.
That's most people's mindset.
There's a way to do it right. There's a way to do it safely.
Yep.
So it is what? GX4 is not currently, this is from James. GX4 is not currently what is a Toro?
I don't know.
What is it? Fill me in, James. I'm dumb. I graduated from Filer. It's only 18 ounces. Oh, the recoil is going to be horrible.
Well, when we watched the video, that's what I said. I said that recoil looks awful on there.
Yeah. I want to throw some plus piece in there and we'll ride that baby home.
No.
So anyhow, there's a lot of people, they don't realize they have to draw the gun. And there is a right way and a wrong way. And the reason why I bring this up is because today I had 2 private classes today. And I get all kinds of people in here doing classes, learning all kinds of stuff, right? But it's not very often I get to do a class where I teach someone how to draw and fire a handgun safely. So I had 2 of them today back to back. I was so freaking excited. I mean, I'll do whatever class. I'll do beginner's class. I'll do all that stuff. But something different is kind of nice.
Yeah.
It is a nice change. And what was phenomenal about today was, okay, we're gonna hit the rewind button, okay? Way back when Patriot Defense was just barely an idea in my mind, and I just started it. It was like 3 ranges ago. It was a long time ago. My motto, and it still is, and I got shirts and hats that say it, Practical, not tactical. That's my motto. Tactical is awesome. Being fast is fantastic, and there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, it's not current optics ready. I'll just JB weld something on there. So that's still my model. Practical, not tactical, right? The tactical stuff is fun, and there is a place for that, and that does bleed into like everyday carry to a certain extent. But the average Joe isn't gonna go and do all that, right?
Not at all.
The average Joe needs to know how to use a firearm in their everyday lives, right? The soccer moms, the mom picking up people from kids from soccer, the dad mowing his lawn, the parents out grocery shopping, the mom buckling the baby carrier into the car, the dad, when I go grocery shopping with my wife and my kids were younger, now it's grandkids. I'm carrying the grandkids around while my wife does the shopping, and I complain about how much money is being spent. So that's the way it works. But that's the practical part of it. How do you draw your firearm, and how do you use it in a practical application, in a practical setting, right? And this guy showed up today to do the class number 1 today, and I was teaching him how to draw his firearm. He appendix carries, which just makes me kind of excited too. So he was appendix carrying, and we learned how to do that two-handed, draw two-handed. And then about halfway through the class, he stopped, and I said, "Hey, what's wrong?" And he goes, "Well, this is what I want, but I probably should have said this at the very beginning." He's like, "When I'm out and about in town, I always carry my daughter. I've got a young daughter, and I carry her in my right arm, on my hip, And I was like, he's like, "I need to know how to carry or how to draw if I have her." I said, "Well, obviously you don't want to set her down, right? So you need to know how to draw while you're carrying her, and you need to know how to do it all one-handed." Gun bunnies, yeah. James watched the video.
Yes, he did.
Okay. And so you need to know how to draw one-handed without setting the baby down. So years ago when I started doing this and I was pushing practical, not tactical, me and my friends, Dean, Percocet Dean was part of this. We set up this whole big deal, and we set up these classes that we couldn't get anyone to freaking sign up for. And what it was is we actually had, for example, it sounds a little silly, but it's practical, right? We had a bag that we filled full of sand and rocks, and you had to, as a backpack, you had to drag it on the ground. It was like you're holding your 4 or 5-year-old kid's hand, right? And you had to access your gun, draw your gun, and fire when we said to fire, and you didn't know where the targets were going to be at, right? And we wanted to see what you were going to do. Did you let go of the bag, essentially let go of your kid's hand, and then fire the gun because you wanted to use 2 hands, or did you pull the bag back around behind you like you're shielding your child and draw the firearm and shoot? So we had all kinds of stuff set up. So when this guy who took my class today, when this gentleman said that he wanted to learn how to, I was like, oh my gosh, I've been training for 8 years for this. It's freaking phnormenal. It's like the dream.
Today is the day.
I have arrived. So I posted a video up on the Facebook page, and you can check it out, right? I mean, I didn't have anything real handy, so I gave him one of the first aid kits. I figured we're going to be out shooting. We need the ouch pouch with us anyway. And he held that under his left arm like he was holding his baby. And he learned how to draw one-handed by scooping his cover garments out of the way with his thumb, accessing his firearm, drawing his firearm, and then we decided he had to swing the baby back under his arm while he was drawing at the same time to keep his child clear of the firearm. And he did it kind of slowly, and that's fine because there's a lot of moving parts, a lot going on. And he came a long ways, and it just excited me that I got someone in here that wanted to do something out of the norm, right? It was thinking outside of the box. Freaking loved it. It was a good day today.
Yeah, and then in the video, he was pretty smooth by the end there. It
was pretty smooth.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some stuff that we worked on just a little bit. It's I don't know. It was fantastic. It was fun that someone was thinking outside the box. Someone was actually interested in learning how to draw. I mean, people have before, but not very many. And then after his class, I actually had another lady show up, and she wanted to learn the same thing. So we went over that. So it was fun today.
Nice.
It was out of the norm, and I enjoyed that a lot.
It makes it fun. Change it up a little bit.
It was. It was. So I'm gonna do a little whining and a little complaining. But first of all, I want to play my new commercial. I'm so excited about my new commercial. I just took out some more advertising. This time I'm not on the AM station, but it's on the FM station, probably the number one station in the Magic Valley. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
So let's take a listen to this.
You're just stupid.
Nope, that wasn't it. That was the wrong button. Here's the one I'm looking for.
So I have to admit, when I first moved to Idaho, I didn't really know anything about guns. And I don't know about you ladies, but when my boyfriend tries to explain things to me, it can turn into an argument and we don't really get anywhere. I love him to death, but he isn't the best teacher, and that's okay. Because I started taking classes with Patriot Defense, and it's been incredible. Riker has taken them too, even, though he knows much more about guns than I do. Todd with Patriot Defense is patient, and he goes at your pace. For me, he walked me through a lot of the basics, and for Riker, he helped him hone a few techniques. Every class is customized around what you already know and your own pace. We took our CCW class with Todd, and watching him and his instructors handle so many different people at so many different knowledge levels was pretty incredible, and I learned a lot. If you're looking to learn about guns from scratch, or if you're trying to hone in on your skills, I highly recommend Patriot Defense. It's a judgment-free and, most of all, safe place to get more comfortable with your firearm. Check out PatriotDefense13.com and contact Todd to book a customized class today.
There you go. That's my new commercial. What'd you think?
I think it's pretty slick.
I'm freaking super excited about that one. It hit on all the, I'm just excited. When I do new advertising and they make a little commercial for, I like it.
Hits all the buzzwords.
Hit all the buzzwords.
Yeah.
Had to let everyone know. So I did on my radio show on Friday, and, I won't say I went off necessarily, but I did. That's what I do. Right. But, we were talking about you don't know what you don't know. Right. And I've just been on this kick lately because I just want to push the point that people need to get out and train. People need to get out and fire their guns. They need to learn, right? I mean, just because your dad or your grandpa taught you how to shoot, they taught you how to go out and shoot that deer rifle. They taught you how to go out and shoot that rock chuck, right? You took your 22 buck mark out or their 45 or whatever it was, and they taught you how to stand there and shoot, right? They're teaching you what they know, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But maybe they're teaching you 1980 stuff.
Or even earlier, if it was your grandfather, 1960s.
Yeah, right. I mean, are they teaching you the right grip? Or are they teaching you the teacup grip, right? There's a lot to know. Did they teach you how to draw a firearm? Early on, there's not a whole lot of dads. I mean, my dad's not going to teach me how to draw a firearm, right? I mean, a lot of this wasn't really a thing back then. And so I'm just saying, just because you know how to pull the trigger and make it go bang, there's so much more that you can do, and there's so much more that you can learn. You've got to go out. You've got to take some classes. It is. I'm ahead of my time there, James. So, I mean, you need to go out and you need to learn this stuff, right? Just because you can fire a gun doesn't mean you can draw the gun and use it. Nope. Doesn't mean you know when to use it. I know I just keep saying that over and over and over again, but it's so freaking true.
Well, you need the training. If you don't train, you're not going to remember how to do it. And when it comes time under the stress and the adrenaline, you're just not going to have the movements down if you don't practice.
Right.
You just won't.
And that's true. I mean, I don't even know. There's a lady that was here today, and years ago, she took a bunch of shooting classes and stuff, and she got really into, she was down in California, actually.
They allow shooting classes down there?
Wherever she was at, she took a lot of stuff from like law enforcement, right? She wasn't in law enforcement, but I think she knew some people. And so she knew some like SWAT guys and stuff. And she went and this was years, she said this was like 20 years ago. She was able to go and like shoot with them and do that kind of stuff. And we were talking about training, and we were talking about military and law enforcement. I'm not picking on military and law enforcement. Just because you're in military, just because you're in law enforcement doesn't mean that you're gun people, right?
Right.
It doesn't mean that you're gun people. I've had a lot of people come through my classes, and sometimes some of the guys that come in and they're like, I know what I'm talking about. I'm this, I'm that. And then they offer to help me out in my class. And then I see them shoot in class, and I'm like, you're not going to help me out in my class. I don't care what your pedigree was. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, it goes back to that whole, if you haven't practiced in 20 years, just because you did it 20 years ago doesn't mean you can do it now.
Well, and that's the story. What she was saying is these SWAT guys would help teach her, right? And these SWAT guys, she said, SWAT guys are always training, right? Because that's their gig, right? Yeah. That's their specialty. And these SWAT guys that she was with actually helped train the rest of the law enforcement officers down there. And she brought up her cousin, I think. Yeah, her cousin is in law enforcement down there, and he doesn't hate guns, but he just doesn't shoot them. And so right before he has to qualify, he puts it off till the end of the month, so he has all month to kind of practice up. And he doesn't like guns, really. He'll carry one and he'll use it, but he doesn't put time and effort into really learning it.
Yep.
He's very nervous, doesn't want him in his house, that kind of thing. Those kind of people, those kind of law enforcement people are out there. There's nothing wrong with that. They're not all gun people. But these SWAT guys would come in and they would hound on the officers that came to train with them. They would just give them a load of crap because they knew most of them didn't get out and train.
Yeah.
And she says they were rough on them and they were hard on them. And since she spent all the time with the SWAT guys would say, look at her. Look at how she's shooting. Why aren't you shooting like her? She can outshoot you guys. You guys are a bunch of law enforcement officers. And this woman over here who's just doing it because she likes it, she can outshoot you. So I'm just falling back on just because you're law enforcement, just because you're military, doesn't mean that you can shoot, and it doesn't mean that you can train other people to shoot, right? Some of you can, some of you can't.
Well, and it's a different type of shooting too that they teach in the military. They're not teaching
a
you
lot of it's rifle stuff too.
They're not teaching you the self-defense stuff that you need to know for your everyday use. That's not what they're training for.
Right.
They're training to kill on a battlefield. It's not.
It's different.
It's a different tactic.
They're
altogether.
not training you to protect your children as you're leaning over the car in the car, back of the car, buckling the car seat in, right?
Yep.
I mean, they're not training you for that.
No, you're being taught to be a killing machine out to defend the country,
and they're
not even close.
They're not training you to run that Taurus GX4.
No, not at all.
Oh man, I think I need one of those. I think I need one of those.
I want to go see one now.
Why am I strangely drawn to that?
It was the video.
You are too now, aren't you?
I am. I want to go find out.
We were making fun of that gun, right?
Yes.
Until I said, "What's this?" And we played the video. Showed that guy, and he was out fishing, and then he's driving home to his farmhouse,
to his farmhouse, yep.
And he's like, "And concealed carry, and you never know when evil. You don't.
You don't know until you know.
Freaking what don't I know?" And then pretty soon they're like, "And you need this GX4," and I'm like, good Lord, maybe I do.
I'm going to go look and see if I can find one tomorrow.
Maybe that's what's missing is that GX4.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
I am too. I'm going to go look at one.
You going to buy one tomorrow?
I don't know if I'll buy one, but
I'll buy one. You're going to buy one.
I'll go look at one.
You pull out that credit card and just buy that thing. Buy two of them while you're at it. Buy two while you're at it.
All right.
That's
oh man. I'm going to go look for one though.
You buy two of them and I'll pay you for half of it.
All right. For half of one?
Half of
okay.
Half of one. I'm really kind of excited about this little. I'm just a moron.
Yeah.
Why would I buy that over a 365?
It's smaller.
I'm stuck on this today. I'm just. By the way, did you guys see my? Did you see my new? What do we call this?
Thermos.
My new thermos.
Thermos.
Pretty excited about my thermos.
No, but I am. I'm going to go. I'm gonna go look for one. I want to put this thing in my hand and see how it feels.
Me too. That'll be next week's plan. That's my plan for next week.
Okay. Well, if I get to one tomorrow, I'll let you know.
Okay, that'll work.
Yeah.
So I am getting a few more people signed up for my men's class that I have, my men's group class that I have coming up. And you said you might be signing up for it.
The one that you do on Saturday.
The one I do
not the men's class during the week.
The one I do. I'll tell you what, that one I do during the week is coming along freaking slick.
I really wanted to take that one, but there's just no way with my schedule.
That guy, freaking lost his name all of a sudden. I got to look it up because he is going to be upset. I got to look up his name real quick. Let me look here. So he's taking that along with our buddy Henry.
Oh, is Henry taking that class?
Well, yeah. So let me look here. Burke. Damn it, Burke. I'm so sorry. He's going to be listening to this. So Burke is taking that class with Henry. Henry's kind of coming when he can come. He's been kind of busy lately. But I tell you what, they are both. Thanks, James. I love it. They are both coming a long ways. I'm actually teaching some of that stuff. The I don't even know what to call it, right? I learned it through TPC, so it's a TPC style of shooting, I guess. So I'm using that, and my gosh,
really?
night and day difference from day one. Just
nice,
just phenomenal. And I talked to you about it just a little bit, and I know James has worked with it quite a bit. Peter's taking a class too. Night and day. Talk about getting back on target quicker. Talk about recoil management. Absolutely phenomenal. And you've done, how much have we done with you? Just a little bit, right?
We just did a little bit. We did it that day. We were messing with the Taurus.
Damn Taurus. But no, I'm really excited that, everyone's kind of catching on who's learning that. And they're just like, well, you see it in their eyes. You can see it in James' eyes when he learned it. And even Peter's, right? He's out there shooting. He's like, holy crap, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And it is amazing. Your arms will ache for 3 days after you get started.
Yeah, it was amazing how tired my arms got just
Yeah.
a little bit that we did it.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to read a couple things at once here. But okay. I'll get back to you with that, James. I think you knew that one. I think you knew of it. I'll talk to you about it. He's sorry, we got all this stuff going on here. But so then I'm like throwing like noodles at classes at the wall and trying to see what sticks. So I was really excited. We only had one person sign up for it. Now we're up to about 4 people. Pretty excited about that, but
yeah, I think it'll be a fun class.
It will be. I'm looking forward to the summer. We did turn to winter here for a couple days. I fired up a freaking fire in my wood stove.
Yeah. I had the heater on in my...
This is asinine.
It is. I had the heater on in my apartment last night.
That's nuts.
It's ridiculous.
Okay. I know what I hate to say it, folks. We're going to cut the show. I'm tired. I don't know that I didn't really plan much more.
Yeah.
This is so finely planned. It took me a week to come up with 40 minutes.
Well, 46 minutes.
46. And I hit record this evening.
Yes. So that's a plus. So you don't have to put the extra 3 hours of work in.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, I will say, let me pull up one more thing. I want to point out something here. Where is it? We have a listener to the podcast. His name is, I just looked at it. His name is Clifford Mallory, and he's going to be listening to this. He lives over in Wyoming. Okay. And he listens to the podcast, and he takes my advice. He not only listens to the podcast, he actually listens to me.
And he applies what you say.
That dude shoots 100 rounds a month, and good on you,
nice.
Cliff. 100 rounds a month. That's what everybody should be doing. I know James does that. I know a lot of people do that, but 100 rounds a month. Absolutely fantastic. And he actually got a hold of me, sent me an email. He's coming down here for some vacation in July, and he signed up for a concealed carry permit class.
Did he really?
He did. And it's freaking
for
fantastic.
him.
I get to meet a listener, and I'm really excited about that.
That's cool.
I know. So I tell you what, just because you live in another state, if you come to visit over here, you can come take a class with me. And I'm really easy to get a hold of. You can comment on Facebook. You can shoot me a text. You can give me a call. I will respond. I'll do a little Facebook stalking.
Yeah.
I Facebook stalked Clifford a little bit. Kind of had to pull him up, kind of see who I'm dealing with, right?
Yeah.
See if I need to run out and buy that Taurus GX4.
Yeah.
Because you never know when evil's around the corner.
You never know.
Clifford. But anyhow, I think we're going to wrap this up because I'm just getting a little goofy at this point.
Yeah. No, I think it's good.
But hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. Share the YouTube live video. If you would, that'd be absolutely fantastic. We've been great service. Oh, we are up 2 listeners from 110 subscribers to the YouTube live channel, the YouTube channel. Now we're up to 112.
Hey, it's an improvement.
I don't know who you are, but one of them subscribed like yesterday.
Perfect. Doesn't matter when they subscribe.
If I get 2 a week, it'll be probably 10 years before I
start making some money off of it.
Yeah, but hey, it's whatever. I'm in it for the long haul.
There you go. Start small.
That's right. Share it with your family and friends. If you listen to the audio version of the podcast, you can listen to it on YouTube as well, but you can also find it on Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify. Share that as well. I certainly appreciate everyone commenting. James, Pete, I always appreciate when people comment and get involved on the YouTube live. And thank you for joining me.
Thanks for
You're
having
getting
me.
lots of invites lately, aren't you?
I have been.
So yeah. I appreciate that.
I enjoy it.
Become a regular. You need to put your bow down and start shooting your pistol more.
I'm shooting both. I didn't get to shoot my pistol last week, but I've been shooting both.
Okay, good. That's good. I'm going to look at this comment before we go here. I might miss something important. James says that class was awesome for adding new tools to the toolbox. Coupled that with the red dot sight training, shit is getting slick. And it really is. James started putting red dots on his guns, and he coupled that with, he did some training with that, and he had some red dots on his gun. Coupled that with that TPC stuff. It's freaking slick. Good. It is fast. It is quick.
Is he the one shooting the hostage out there?
No, that was Henry.
Oh.
James is the one that owns what we call the Blasphemies. He's the one that takes the $3,600 1911, cuts that slide, throws a red dot on there, and then Dremel tools the freaking safety down because it gets in his way. I freaking love it. If you're going to shoot a 1911, I certainly think you need to desecrate them.
Obviously, it needs to be done.
It needs to be done. They are not functional.
Yeah.
And last week, if you listened to last week's podcast, we talked all about 1911s. It's absolutely fantastic. I will say thanks to James for sending me that link that I don't think he was prepared for me to actually play on the podcast, but it was fun.
Was it?
We had a great time.
Nice.
But until then, I am out of here. We got to go. I will see you guys sometime next week. Bye.
Bye.